Hey y'all, and welcome to my back porch. We're gonna do a little back porch chat today. I did one of these last week and I enjoyed it, and several of you did as well, and so I thought let's do it again. Maybe we'll even make this a regular thing, a very raw video, little to no editing, just like you're sitting here on the porch with me chatting. If there's kids playing, if there's roosters crowing, if we're swatting at flies, whatever it is, just like you're sitting here with me. I'm sure if we continue to do this on a regular basis, we'll probably cover all different kinds of topics in these little chats. But today, as I was thinking about it, and kind of over this week, as I was thinking about it, God laid obedience on my heart. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And neat little story. I was thinking about a video that I shared a year and a half or so ago. We were here on this property walking around. I was talking and sharing my heart with you, talking a little bit about being obedient. The hummingbirds are coming to the hummingbird feeder, y'all. See if I can show you. But I was talking about being obedient when it came to my YouTube channel a little bit in that video. And it was on my mind earlier this week, and I thought, a lot of people that watch now, they've probably never even seen that video. And the topic and that video was on my mind, and then I noticed a couple of comments pop up from that video, and it resurfacing a little bit, and some people watching it. I thought, well, that's pretty neat how God works, and I thanked him for that reassurance, because he doesn't owe us that, but it sure was nice. And so that's what we're going to talk about obedience. I had Jeremiah 29:11 on my heart, and how Jeremiah was explaining that if we seek out God's way for our life, he means good for us, and he has a plan, he has a purpose, and he means good for us. It may not always look exactly like what we want it to look like, and we may not see our rescue or our reward like that, but it's so important to seek out what he has for us, because we will be blessed through that. We will find contentment and fulfillment and true joy through being obedient to God's will and his way. And Justin has shared in some sermons, and it has really stuck with me, about the difference in happiness and joy, and how happiness can be fleeting but joy stays with you. You can wake up in the morning happy and then stub your toe, and now you're frustrated and you're angry, and that happiness is gone. But if you have true joy, no matter what the circumstances are, true joy is not circumstantial. No matter what, if you have Jesus in your heart, and you know that you're living the life that he has for you, and you see him around you, and you know your purpose, true joy never leaves you. And you can receive that through having Jesus in your heart, and through living the life that he would have you to live. And over the years, there have been areas that I have struggled with that obedience, thinking that I knew what was best, when in fact I do not. Talking about starting a YouTube channel, I fought that for years. For years I fought it. What content will I create? No one will watch. I don't have the right equipment. And then finally I was obedient, and I've been blessed through that. I may not have seen my rewards right away. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. I remember when I would get like 8 views on a video, and I would say, God, I feel like you're telling me that this is going to be a way for me to help support my family. It's fun and it's a hobby, but it's going to be a way that I can help support my family. But how am I going to do that if I'm getting 8 views on a video? And now I am able to have some income. I didn't see that right away, but God fulfilled that promise to me. And you know what? Even if that hadn't been his purpose with me starting my YouTube channel, and I still think sometimes, like, will this continue to grow into something that blesses my family even more? And I feel like it will, and I'm trusting that it will. But even if that hadn't been his intention, in talking about a video only getting 8 views, y'all, if I was sitting down, one of my excuses was no one will watch. Y'all, I've never had a video that no one watched. But even if they hadn't, and God had spoke to my heart and worked in my heart, and I had been obedient, then that would have been enough, right? But if I'm sitting down with one person and I'm talking to you and I'm sharing what God has told me to share with you. Would I say that that conversation was insignificant? Of course not. So when 5, 6, 7, 8 people are watching my video, I'm sitting down and I'm talking to you. And that's so important. Each and every one of you are important to me. Me sitting here and talking to you right now, you are important. I have come to this place where no matter how many views a video gets, the connection I'm making with you is important. It's enough. If one person watches this video and gets something from it, it's enough. And what a blessing. What a blessing this video, this platform has become. I feel like it's become a blessing for others. It's become a blessing for me. It's become a blessing for my family. And it's been that through my obedience. Oh, goodness. Some other areas of my life, being a stay-at-home mom, there were times that I went to college married with children, and I started college pretty much just right when I got married the month after I graduated high school, and started college a month after that, and then had children about 2 years later, I think is when Audrey was born. And then Easton was born while I was still in college. It took me a little bit longer. But I graduated college, had a job, spent all this time, money, effort on college, and thought, I'm feeling led to be a stay-at-home mom. But can I do that? Can I say that I went to college and I did all this and I'm not going to use it? Can we live off of one income? And y'all, God made it happen whether I wanted it to or not. I lost my job, and that was sometimes when God has a plan, you're not going to stand in the way. And then I chose to be obedient and to continue staying at home. If I felt led to have a part-time job here or there, felt led to start YouTube as a part-time job, I would do that if I felt like that's what God had for me. But I became so much more intentional about what career path or lack thereof did God intend for me. Not just what Tiffany thinks it should be, but what does God have for me? And I've been blessed by it. I have found contentment and fulfillment in that. Homeschooling my children. That's another area where I had to be obedient. I felt this calling and I felt led to do this. And, every single day we have to make that effort. We have to make that effort to seek out what God has for us. And where He wants us, what He wants our life to look like, what He has in store for our children. We have to be intentional about that and to not get so caught up in what human nature tells us is going to give us that fleeting, momentary happiness. Seek out the true joy in being obedient to what God has for you. Your circumstances, your story may not look like mine. There may be some areas where you can relate. But whatever it is for you, seek out what God has for you. Don't get so caught up in what the world tells us our life should look like. Because goodness knows the world is getting further and further away from Jesus every day. But don't seek out so much what the world tells us our life should look like. But instead, pray and seek out what God has in store for you. The path that He wants you to go on. And I assure you that you will find your joy, you will find your contentment, and you will find your fulfillment through Jesus and through what He has in store for you. You may see your rescue, you may see your reward right away. You may see it down the road. There's so many times. That's why there's that saying, hindsight's 20/20, right? Sometimes you look back and you think, well, okay, God, I see how you were working. Sometimes it happens quickly, and sometimes it's on down the road, and you look back and you say, okay, I see it. And you know what? Even if we don't ever understand our circumstances or what God has for us, He has a plan, He has a purpose. I assure you that. And even if you don't recognize it or you don't realize it, He was working in your favor. They are working on this hayfield back here, y'all. And I shared this over on Instagram. But yesterday, Justin and I just sat here a couple weeks ago and said, oh, we don't really have that many problems with snakes. And yesterday, Audrey went to get the eggs out of the chicken coop. And when she raised the lid, there was a snake staring at her. And she took off running. And she was like, it just caught me off guard. It scared me. It did not bother the chickens. I don't even think the chickens knew it was there. It would have probably enjoyed some of our eggs, though, if we had not gotten it out. It didn't harm anything. But I just thought that was funny. Like, we just sat here and said that we don't have problems with snakes. And then there it was. But I think all the stuff they've been doing in this field back here has got some stuff stirred up. Hawks and snakes and mice and all the things. That's going to be all for this one. That's today's back porch chat. Hopefully you got something from it. These flies, y'all, swatting at them. I love you. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.